Welcome to Part 3, the grand finale of the UK Financial Literacy Masterclass. If you have made it this far, you are in the top 1% of people who actually want to change their lives. In Part 1, we stopped the bleeding. You killed your toxic debt and built your guilt-free pub plan. In Part 2, you dodged the traps. You built your buffer fund to beat the poverty premium, and you realized that PCP car finance is a scam to keep you skint. Your financial house is completely in order. You are playing brilliant defense. But here is the brutal reality of the global economy. You cannot save your way to wealth. If you just take your spare cash and sit it in a traditional bank account, you are guaranteeing that you will lose money over time. Cash is not a wealth-building tool. Cash is an ice cube melting in the sun. Because of inflation, the Bank of England is constantly printing more money, which makes the pounds in your pocket worth less every single year. A tenner today buys you half of what a tenner bought you 10 years ago. If you want to actually build wealth, if you want to eventually stop working for money and have your money work for you, you have to transition from playing defense to playing offense. You have to stop holding melting cash and you have to start owning the assets that go up in value. Today we are buying the machine. I'm going to demystify the stock market, break down the legal cheat codes the UK government gives you to hide your money from the taxman, and show you exactly how to automate your wealth. Let's get it sorted. When I say the words investing in the stock market, most people completely tense up. The education system and the media have conditioned us to believe that investing is basically gambling for posh people. You picture the Wolf of Wall Street. You picture blokes in suits screaming at computer screens, day trading, looking at complex charts and trying to pick the next massive tech company before it explodes. That is not investing. That is speculating. And it is a fantastic way to lose all your money. Real investing is incredibly boring, and it is beautifully simple. When you buy a share in a company, you are not buying a lottery ticket. You are buying a microscopic slice of an actual business. If you buy a slice of Greggs, every time someone buys a sausage roll, you technically get a microscopic cut of the profit. If you own a slice of Tesco, Apple, or Amazon, you own a piece of their future earnings. The goal of investing is to own pieces of the global economy, so that as the world gets richer, you get richer. But trying to pick which specific company is going to do well is a fool's game. Even the professionals in London get it wrong most of the time. Instead of trying to find the needle in the haystack, you just buy the entire haystack. This is called an index fund. Automatically buys you a tiny slice of thousands of the biggest companies in the world all at once. If one company goes bankrupt, it doesn't matter, because the other thousands are still growing. You spread your risk across the entire planet. Why do we do this? Because historically, despite wars, pandemics, and recessions, the global stock market has always gone up over the long term, averaging around 8 to 10% a year. And when you combine that growth with something called compound interest, absolute magic happens. Albert Einstein allegedly called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. He said, "He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it." Compound interest is when the money your investments make starts making its own money. It is a snowball rolling down a hill, gathering more and more snow until it becomes an avalanche. Let me give you the brutal maths. If you invest 200 quid a month into a global index fund starting at age 25, assuming an 8% return, by the time you hit 65, you will have over £700,000. But if you wait until you are 35 to start investing that exact same 200 quid a month, by age 65, you will only have about £300,000. Waiting 10 years literally cost you 400,000 quid, even though you only missed out on 24 grand of actual deposits. Time is your biggest asset. The early bird doesn't just get the worm, they get the entire farm. You have to start now, even if it is only 50 quid a month. Now, if you build a massive pile of wealth, the taxman is going to want his cut. HMRC will try to tax your profits, which can severely slow down that snowball effect. But this is where living in the UK gives us one of the greatest financial cheat codes on planet Earth. It is a legal, government-approved invisible shield that protects your money from taxes forever. It is called an ISA, specifically a stocks and shares ISA. Every single adult in the UK has an ISA allowance of £20,000 per tax year. If you open a stocks and shares ISA through a broker, like Vanguard, Trading 212, or Hargreaves Lansdown, and you buy your boring global index funds inside that account, HMRC cannot touch it. If your investments grow to £1 million over the next 30 years, you will pay exactly 0 capital gains tax when you sell it. You will pay 0 tax on the dividends. It is completely, legally tax-free. If you are under 40 and you are saving to buy your first house, there is a specific type of ISA you need to know about called the Lifetime ISA, or the LISA. This is literally free money from the government. You can put up to £4,000 a year into a LISA, and the government will give you a 25% bonus on top. If you put in £4,000, they hand you a free £1,000 every single year. There are rules, obviously. You can only use that money and the bonus to buy your first home up to a value of £450,000, or you have to leave it in there until you are 60 for retirement. If you pull it out to buy a car or go on holiday, you get hit with a penalty. But if you are focused on getting on the property ladder, turning down a free £1,000 a year from the government is absolute madness. But the ISA isn't the only cheat code. The biggest missed opportunity in the UK is the workplace pension. By law, your employer has to enroll you in a pension scheme. You pay in a percentage of your salary, and your employer has to pay in a percentage too. Do you know how many young people opt out of this because they want a slightly bigger paycheck today? It is a tragedy. If your boss offers to match your pension contributions up to 5% and you opt out, you are literally declining a pay rise. It is free money. If you put in £100, your boss puts in £100. That is a guaranteed instant 100% return on your money before it has even been invested in the stock market. You will never ever find an investment return that good anywhere else. Plus, the government gives you tax relief on it. Maximize your employer match before you do anything else. Okay, so you've opened your stocks and shares ISA. You are buying a boring global index fund every month. You are getting your employer pension match. The mechanics are easy. The hard part is the emotional game. Because let me promise you something right now. The stock market will crash. It will go down 10, 20, maybe even 30% at some point during your investing journey. When you log into your app and see that your hard-earned £10,000 has temporarily dropped to £7,000, your lizard brain is going to scream at you to sell everything before you lose it all. This is where 90% of people fail. They panic, they sell at the bottom, and they lock in their losses. Then they sit in the pub and tell everyone that the stock market is a scam. You have to completely rewire your brain. When the market crashes, you haven't lost any shares. The price of the shares has just temporarily dropped. Think of it like a supermarket. If you went into Tesco and saw that your favorite coffee was suddenly 30% off, you wouldn't panic and run out of the store. You would buy more. A stock market crash is the only time things go on sale and everyone runs screaming out of the shop. Keep buying. Stick to the plan. Ride the wave. Because human emotion is the enemy of wealth, you have to remove yourself from the equation entirely. You cannot rely on willpower to invest your money. If you wait until the end of the month to see what you have left over to invest, you will have absolutely nothing left over. You will have spent it on takeaways and pints. You need to implement the automation protocol. Set up a direct debit from your current account to your stocks and shares ISA. Have it leave your account on the 25th of the month or whatever day you get paid. Have it set to automatically buy your chosen index fund. Do the exact same thing for your buffer fund if it needs topping up. Pay your future self before you pay Amazon, before you pay the pub, and before you pay your landlord. Make wealth building an automatic background process that you don't even have to think about. This is the secret that financial gurus selling courses on TikTok don't want you to know. Building real wealth isn't about trading crypto on your phone while sitting on a beach in Dubai. It isn't about finding the next big stock. It is about consistency. It is about buying boring, globally diversified index funds inside a tax-free ISA, month after month, year after year, and letting compound interest do the heavy lifting while you get on with enjoying your actual life. Let's look at what you've built over these 3 videos. You know your skint score. You've killed your toxic debt with the snowball method. You've funded your guilt-free pub plan. You've built your £1,000 buffer fund to dodge the poverty premium. You've rejected the PCP car trap. And now, you are automatically buying the global economy inside a tax-free shield, using time and compound interest to guarantee your future. You aren't just saving for retirement. You are saving for freedom. You are building screw you money, the ability to walk away from a toxic boss, the ability to take a career risk, the ability to sleep peacefully at night, knowing that if the boiler breaks or the car fails, it is just a minor inconvenience, not a life-ruining disaster. You have taken control of the invisible machine. If this 3-part masterclass has helped you finally make sense of your money, please hit the like button and share it with a mate who is stuck in the overdraft trap. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel because we are going to be doing deep dives into all of these topics in the future. Leave a comment below and tell me, what age are you starting your investing journey? I'm Baz. Thank you for trusting me with your time. Let's get it sorted.